Welcome to The Other Dimension with the team, Damon Penny, Ben Winfield, and Louisa Brown. We guide you through the supernatural, the occult, and the unexplained, answering questions that will make you question your grip of reality, with special guests guiding you through everything from demons to divination, cryptids to crystals, religion to skeptics. We explore in depth the true meaning of the unexplained. So strap in, kick back, and enjoy as we enter the other dimension.
Big summer blowout. Hey everybody, it's that time again. It's the other dimension. It's your Friday night paranormal fix. I'm your host, and you just got me tonight. Big shouts out to Ben and Lou. Busy. Hopefully we're not getting no echoes, guys, because last week was just absolute craziness. Yes, you got me tonight, sporting the fresh car, brand new top. We're all good to go. Shouts out to Annette, everybody in the chat room. Big shouts out to Zira. There is rumours that are going round that supposedly next week you're joining me for a Harry Potter special. We're going to keep that under wraps, though. There is rumours going around. So welcome along. It's the other dimension. It's your Friday night paranormal fix. Big shout out to all our friends and family locked in. I've got to send a massive shout out to my coach who's locked in tonight. Big shout out to you, Dino. Boy. Yeah, we are a month, 6 weeks away from starting the diet, in which I'll be dieting down ready, hopefully, for my first or my second show in August. Looking forward to that one. So yeah, you just got me tonight. We're just going to chat about some random bits and bobs. I mean, anything you guys want to talk about, hit me up in the chat. What you've been up to? Have you heard any paranormal stories? You want to share some stuff? Hit up in the chat room. Let's go for it tonight. You guys are in the driving seat. You're in control. It's all about what you guys want to talk about tonight. I know I say this a lot, but it's one of them things, like life just gets in the way. I'm very, very busy. So much stuff going on, obviously taking up this new, it's not new, I've been doing it for over a year, but this lifestyle that I have now in which I'm bodybuilding and that, it takes up a lot of time and a lot of effort and a lot of energy. So I just can't thank you guys enough for sticking with the show and letting us know and being there for us. It's fantastic. So, big shouts out to Dino if you're locked in, out to my coach. Really looking forward to what we're going to bring. So that's cool. So also tonight, guys, please make sure you go and check out the official merchandise of the show. Head over to Pentagraphics. Their link is on our Facebook page. That's facebook.com/TOD Paranormal. Head over to there. There's a link there to get onto our merchandise on the Pentagraphics website. Everything from Sage Rage Rampage to the Occult Science Show to the Other Dimension, even the Glow in the Dark stuff. And you can get your very own Todd on your t-shirt. Your very own Todd. It's definitely worth checking out. Head over there. Pentagraphics, fantastic group. We've had them on the show. Amazing guys. Brilliant designs. I am going to be speaking to them about a couple of other designs. I want to get a couple. One of them is going to be obviously with the whole Harry Potter theme in mind, and it's going to they're Christmas themed ones. Okay. So we're going to have one that says mistletoe is full of nargles. I hope so. I hope we can get that one done. And also I want to do a t-shirt that says all I want for Christmas is a Todd. So let's see what happens and see if we can get that going. If you guys got any ideas for designs for the show, please hit us up, let us know. So yeah, things are going well. We've also got our other people, other affiliates and brands that help us here at the show. Please check out our sponsors. They are as follows.
Welcome to the Other Dimension Network. Exploring the unexplained. In partnership with Embrace the Dark Paranormal Science Beyond the Grave. Haunted Museum, and Spirit Shop, Stoke. And lock in to our other shows. The Witch's Closet with Scarlet Witch. Divination with Louisa Brown. Occult, History, and Science with Ben and Lou. Only on The Other Dimension Network.
So yeah, please make sure you check out them. Support us here on the show. Like I said, I can't thank you guys enough. You guys are awesome. You've sort of stuck with us through thick and thin. And I know that I know the shows are becoming few and far between with all of us guys, but you have to understand that there's a lot going on in the background in the sense of our normal day-to-day life. So please bear that in mind. But we are trying our hardest. Like I said, next week's show, I'll be doing a Harry Potter special. We'll be talking about Harry Potter in general, like the storylines, how different the books are to the actual films. And we'll also be exploring some of the occult things and some of the paranormal things that are very close to the mark when it comes to the Harry Potter books. Mainly the books. The films, yeah, look, right, can't deny. Films are great. They were fantastic. But compared to the books, they're absolutely pants. But I'm going to save that for next week anyway. So we'll talk about that next week. So, yeah, chat room. What should we talk about? Let me know what we want to talk about. I am still trying to work on this whole conspiracy show thing. It just seems to not want to work. And that's saying life is busy. That's why I only do shows when I can. Yeah, I completely understand, and more than you would ever imagine. I'm just. You have to remember that at the moment I'm training 6 times a week, and we're not talking about 30 minutes, 40 minutes. I do 2 hours in the gym 6 times a week. The only day I get off normally is Saturday. It's very hard at the minute, but it will all be worth it. I mean, I won't share with you guys pictures of me at the show because it's not anything that. But if we make it to August and I make it to the show and I'm able to diet down and get to myself to the point, then I will be sharing. I will try and share that journey with you. Okay, I will try and share it with you. I'll do some live videos and some come alongside and some podcasts and that, so you guys can come along with me because it's a journey in itself, and I think it's something that, as much as I've experienced it once, I'm looking forward to experiencing it again. And it's also something that I'd like to share with other people. I think it's something that, because people just see it as, meatheads going to the gym, lifting weights, that sort of thing. It's not that. There is so much more to it. Nutrition-wise, science behind it, it is crazy. It is crazy when you actually get into it. And the life of a lifter is very, very, it's a little complicated. But yeah, that's something that I will try and bring you guys along to. I'll try and keep you guys with me, and we'll go on the journey together. I hope so. So we'll see how it happens. I know that the other half is dying to see me in my posing trunks. So, yeah. So I'm trying to still work on the conspiracy side of things. Patreon's not playing ball at the moment when it comes to the conspiracy side of things. I don't know if it's been sort of like overtaken by these big social media groups that are taking over things, because there seems to be community guidelines in place now and so on and so forth, where if I was to stream certain shows, then it would get banned. I don't want that to happen, especially on the Patreon, because obviously you can pledge on there. So I'm trying to work a way around it. I'm looking at other platforms to sort of share the show, maybe BitChute or something like that, so I can do the conspiracy show on there. Because if we're going to talk about conspiracies in general, now obviously it's quite a big subject, I want to have that free roam to talk freely about it. I don't want to have to control the taboo words, and having to control the things that I say, because I don't want to get cancelled and I don't want to get demonetized, or because we live in a day and age now where everything is very much cancel culture. An example of it is the whole thing that happened with the XL Bullies a little bit before. Antoinette, how you doing? all the stuff about the XL bullies, like they're a good and bad in every breed of dogs, you know what I mean? But it's like the whole cancel culture that seems to be sort of flying up now, the whole snowflake theory, and the fact that people just have to fit in. And okay, I know this is a paranormal show, but I'm gonna have a rant. Okay, I'm gonna have a rant. I think it's time someone had a rant. When has it ever got to the point now where everybody has to segregate based on what and who they are? You know, it's so snowflakey nowadays. You know, you don't have to belong to something anymore. There seems to be like this whole thing nowadays where you have to belong to a group, to a certain people. It's taken away like people's individualism. And this actually ties into what we talk about on the show, the whole thing of conspiracies and stuff like that, because individualism is dying. And if you look at some of the practices from like the underground sort of like groups, i.e. your Skull and Bones, your Masons, your Templars, the whole point of these secret societies is to take away the individuality of the person. You see, you have to go through this, and this, which is the same as anybody else who wants to join the organization. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying, and I have to be careful what I say. Now, we talk about secret societies. Every single person that joins a secret society has to go through the same process to become a member. It's actually destroying your individuality. It's destroying who you are as a person and who you are as an individual. Yeah, it's a control measure put in place by higher beings or other dimensional creatures. These control measures are put in place because, unbeknown to society and ourselves, we're fighting with each other. And this is all because of the pure fact of we are not individuals anymore. We don't celebrate individualism. We don't celebrate the fact that I am who I am and you are who you are. Yeah, it's either the fact that it's either the fact you take offence, or you feel like I'm physically attacking you, or it's not. It's just I'm me and you are you. And the archons. That's a good point. Individualism should be something that should be celebrated. Thinking outside the box, being that person that sort of has your own ideas and has your own feelings on life and decisions and stuff like that. I mean, if you look at Viking teachings, right? And I know I'll bring this up a lot because obviously I'm being a Viking myself. If you look at Viking teachings, we are taught as Vikings that our destiny is already set in place. The gods have already decided what's happening to us. So our destination is decided for us. We know where we're heading. We know where we're going. But there are many paths to get to that point. Yeah, there are many paths that lead to Ragnarok. There's many paths that leads to our destiny. And depending on the decisions that we make here while we're on the earth plane determines on what path and how easy our path is to our destiny, to our final place. And I believe that's very true in life. A lot of people say, I don't like the idea of a preconceived future for myself. No one's preconceiving your future when we talk about it in the sense of you have a destiny. For instance, right, this is a really good analogy to sort of bring up. The fact of the matter is you might be leaving your house and going to a destination. You put the destination in your sat nav and you're heading towards that destination. Now, that sat nav has already mapped out your line of where you're going. Doesn't mean you have to follow that line. Doesn't mean you have to be that person that follows the sat nav. You might end up in traffic and you might turn off and find a completely different line that actually gets you to that route quicker with less hassle. That is how life is in general. That's how we're taught anyway, as Viking, as Norse. That our destiny is already decided. How we get there is how we make our decisions and how we are as a person. And that's really deep. Wow. It's a really deep conversation. Let me contemplate that for a second. That's a very deep conversation. But yeah, individualism. And like I was saying, when it comes to secret societies, it's been around for years. We all know secret societies have been around from the time before Jesus and, you know, these sort of things, and thousands and thousands of years ago. Being part of a secret society or an organization or a secret club, it's all about taking away the individualism of the person. It's all about becoming what they believe in their eyes, what you need to become. It's something that's been passed down from generation to generation to generation, to the point now where we create secret societies within our own social bubbles without even knowing. Paris and how do you know the Viking takeover of Paris now happening? Zero, are you talking about the where the Vikings attacked Paris and the story of King Rollo? If so, yeah, I'm really aware of that one, but I've never. If you're not talking about that, I have no idea. When it comes to Viking studies, especially the stuff that I've studied, yes, I've studied history of the Vikings, and for people that don't know, we're told that Christopher Columbus discovered America, but yet when Christopher Columbus got to America, they found Viking etchings on stones, so they did go a lot further than we believe. But it's more about when I say I become Viking, I studied the history in that, but with me, it's more about how you think and the way that you are that makes you Viking. You know, it's not so much about knowing the history. It's about your mindset, the way that you think, the way that you feel. I become Viking things like 2 or 3 years ago now, only because of the pure fact of, like, I identified with that a lot more. I found myself more comfortable with the ideas that they had when it come to the creation of Earth, when it comes to the different realms that you're in, so whether it's Svartalheim or, you know, and we got the tree of destiny, Yggdrasil and stuff like that. I identified more with that. I felt that it felt more to me. It felt like, because a lot of people, you had this whole Viking thing come up when we had the series on Amazon, and everyone was like, "Oh, I'm going to be a Viking now. I'm going to go and buy myself an axe." I don't own an axe. I don't own an axe. I've got knives, but I don't own an axe. So does that mean I'm not a Viking? I haven't got a helmet with horns either, like these sort of things. So obviously I'm not Viking, you know. So, and I've got tattoos of pentagrams and oh, okay, I've got runes on my fingers, but it's, you know, I mean, it's just, obviously I'm not Viking. So, but yeah, I mean, it's more of the mindset and how the belief system sort of falls in place that made me sort of believe more so. But yeah, deep conversation. That was very deep. It's very I just find society nowadays very much how would you put it? How would you put society nowadays? It's so easy to offend or be offended nowadays. You know, me growing up, I'm not old. You know what I mean? I'm only 36, so when you look at it in that sense, you know, it's not. I don't know how to explain it. I'm not old, but I just feel like when I grew up, it was more. Everyone had a thicker skin. They had thicker skin. You know, that's the only way to put it. But anyway, I'm going to move off that subject before I end up saying something that will probably get me in trouble. So yeah, it's just a bit crazy. I don't know. Has anybody seen the new Exorcist yet? I thought it was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't expecting phenomenal. I wasn't expecting anything to sort of jump out, and I wasn't expecting to go away from the film and be like, I really enjoyed it. It kept me guessing, but it was really good. I actually enjoyed it. The storyline was a lot better than the original ones. Okay, it was very over dramatized and very sort of like, you know, I need an old priest and a young priest. It was very much like that. There's a really cool bit in it. If you haven't seen it, I don't want to do any spoilers, but there's a really cool bit in it where you feel like, you know, the priest has come in and the church is here to save the day, and it just goes horribly wrong. And you're just like, whoa, didn't see that coming. Did not see that coming. It was definitely one that threw it out there. It was really mental, but it was really, really good. Has anybody else seen it? Let me know. It's worth a watch. No, not that one. Bjorn Ironside, the most accomplished and feared of the Vikings. Yeah, Bjorn Ironside was the son of Ragnar Lothbrok. And what was her name? I can't remember what her name was. I don't know, but she was a Viking princess because she married the King of Iceland at one point. But that was after she split up with him. I can't remember the name of her now. Oh God, you call me now. You call me now. Yeah, Bjorn Ironside was the son of Ragnar Lothbrok. It's you say one of the most accomplished and feared Vikings. Was that accomplished? I agree. Feared, no. Feared, no. The most feared berserker of Viking times was Eric the Red. He was the most feared berserker, and he got the name. Obviously, not. People think it's because he had a red beard and red hair, but it wasn't actually that. It's because the amount of blood that he spilled. Eric the Red. I can't remember what his second name was now. I've got it written up there. I've got about 4 or 5 books up there in the corner. That side of the shelf is the occult and alternative side. If I showed you the other side, it's just full up of autobiographies and Harry Potter books, pretty much. Oh, and I've got the Game of Thrones series up there as well. I like a bit. Game of Thrones is definitely my thing. So yeah, so that's Eric the Red was definitely feared. What was I talking about? Oh, the Exorcist film. Yeah, it's good. It's good. I really enjoyed it. It sort of put a new spin on it. Yes, if you're talking old school, the word Viking is only applicable to men. Yes, they were the ladies were known as shield maidens, or yeah. If you look at it the old school way, the thing is what a lot of people don't realize about Vikings is there was a point where Vikings actually become Christian, and it sort of modernized the Viking religion itself. And nowadays, modern Viking and modern Norseism sort of takes a bit out of each one. So women can be recognized as Vikings now. A woman, you can have a woman Viking. She doesn't have to be a shield maid. That's it, Lagertha. I think that was Lagertha. She married the King of Iceland and killed him and took his throne. But yeah, there was a point where you had Christian Vikings and normal Vikings. This caused a big ruckus between them all because the Christian Vikings were seen as heathens to the other Vikings because they weren't sticking to the old ways. The new Christians Vikings didn't believe that the old. It was one big massive cock up and argument, and out of all this massive argument come this sort of more acceptance of this new modern day Vikingsm, this new modern day Norseism, which if you actually take away and strip it down, you go back to like the Teutonic Knights and the Wotanism that's the era of the way that they're seen. Because if you look at Wotanism in itself, which was a religion based in Germanic times and based around the periods of the Teutonic Knights, they had instead of having Odin as their top god, they had someone called Woden or Wotan. That's where the name Wotanism come from. And if you actually go to Germany now at the moment, even to this modern day, there are certain villages that are still named after the Wotan gods. So there you go. Every day is a school day. I bet you didn't know that one. so yeah. But yeah, crazy. I was going to pull out a couple of books tonight and just sort of like go through them. Just like sort of how Ben and Lou go through their books. But to be honest with you, I was having a look, and the only one that I have that was pretty small enough to sort of pull out some extracts was Crowley's 777. And the Curse of Crowley is real. I've had it happen to me, and I wouldn't want to go through that again. So, yeah, I don't fancy that one. I don't fancy that. So, we're not going to do that. Why has anyone actually noticed that I've got Tyson Fury's book sitting on the wrong side of the shelf? That's really strange. Maybe it was a poltergeist. Ooh. So yeah, Hat to Zero. I'm actually think we're gonna have a really good conversation next week when it comes to the whole Harry Potter thing. Like I understand there are fans out there that are super fans, and probably more than I am, but it's just crazy the lengths that I've gone. Slag, that's the one, and that his brothers were his Ivor the Bonus. Ivor the Bonus was the one who had the problem with his legs, and Sigurd Snake in the Eye. I thought his name was Sigurd Sigurdsson. No, or Sigurd Sigurdsson, Eric the Red Son. I can't actually remember now. Like, Joe reminds me of Joe. Do you remember in the Harry Potter books where they talk about their history of magic lessons with Professor Binns, and they talk about all these old, all these old wizards that were like part of the Goblin rebellions and all this sort of thing, and they talk about that's what the whole Viking thing reminds me of, because when you listen to that in the book or you read that in the book, it was like, it sounds like they're talking about like when they was talking about the history of magic lessons. It just reminds me of that because the names they come out with. So yeah, so I think we'll have a cool conversation next week about Harry Potter. Like I was saying, like, I know there's super fans out there, and I know that Zero, you're probably a super fan, probably as much as I am. But the lengths I've been to when it comes to the whole Harry Potter thing, like, I've been to the Harry Potter world like 4 times. I actually travelled down there one day on a whim because I heard that the pets were there, and I wanted to go and meet Crookshanks, Trevor, and I wanted to go and meet Scabbers. And Hedwig was there. But Hedwig's one of them, like, once you've seen him, you're like, okay, yeah. It's the other ones that sort of like float about that you're like, oh, yeah. I've got pictures of me on a broom. I've got pictures of me in the Ford Anglia. Crazy the lengths that I've gone to when it comes to that film, and it's just mad, and it's crazy how people have that obsession with certain things. It is crazy. Look at what most of us do of a weekend when we go and stand in cold, dark places, talking to ourselves and trying to get people that to any rational person would believe doesn't exist to make a noise or to make their presence known. Ghost hunting is a very niche thing. People don't realize it's very, very niche until you actually like I have, where I have told loads of people, oh, hey Charles, how you doing? How you doing? Well, Zero, you've never actually been to Potterworld. What? Oh, well, there's super fans and there's super fans. What can I say? Hey, what can I say? Shout out to Charles Rudd, at all the Texas crew. Yeah. Yeah. I keep losing my chain of thought. Yeah, so people don't realise that being a paranormal investigator is very, very niche. It's something that is it's an extreme niche when you think about it. When you actually put your mind to it, it's like a proper niche. It's not something that everybody does, and a lot of people feel really uncomfortable about it. So it's like funny. It's like I worked the other day. Obviously, I had my tattoo done a couple of weeks ago. Went into work and then got accused of being a Satanist because I had like I've got a pentagram on the back of my hand and like this whole, I don't know if you can see it, this whole demon thing on my arm, and I got accused of being a Satanist. Going next year in May, there's super fans, then there is a geek. I like to be called a geek. I am very geeky in the sense of Harry Potter. Massive Harry Potter fan. Humongous. Like, it's crazy. But yeah, there's still things that I don't know. There's a guy on TikTok that does like these questions that you'll never be able to answer, and he answers them. And I get some of them, but some I'm like, whoa, okay, I'm not going to remember that one. So, yeah. But, yeah, it's a very niche thing, ghost hunting. It is a very, very niche thing. I don't know. Right, but anyways, listen, guys. I have to cut it a little bit short tonight. I have some things that I've got to do for work. I just didn't want to not come on the show tonight. I wanted to do something. I wanted to have a chat with you. The idea was to go on for half an hour. Slightly overrun that. I may get in a bit of trouble, but yeah. Don't forget, guys. Please check out Pentagraphics. Go and check out all the merchandise. next week's show, I'll be live here with Zira, who we'll be talking all things Harry Potter. We'll be comparing the books, the films. We'll be talking about the occult references, and we'll also be talking about how close does it actually get to real life. That's the question. From me in the studio, I've got to run. I do apologise. From me here in the studio, thank you so much for listening. You've been absolutely amazing. Thank you for joining me tonight. And don't forget, catch the show. I'm sure Ben and Lou on Sunday, so don't miss that one. I've got to run because my phone's ringing. Take it easy, everyone. Take care. Good night. And remember, if there's no other explanation, there is always the other dimension.